Well, joining us this morning to review the papers are author Nikki Hodgson and editor of Spiked, Tom Slater. Lovely to see you guys again. Nikki, to you first of all, you picked The Express, a story inside The Express about A&E times and how we knew that waits were going to be high this winter, but that the flu crisis has made things a lot worse.
Yeah, so it's basically very depressingly saying that you can expect to wait up to 15 hours in A&E if you go at the moment. And the reason that those waiting times, and they were already high before, have escalated is because of the number of people being admitted for flu infections. This isn't a story that we didn't expect. There was lots of discussion of this in the past few months. Coming up to Christmas, a lot of encouragement for the government to get your flu jab if you were eligible. But obviously, over Christmas, people socialise, people see their family, people see their friends, and the numbers of things like flu go up. The flu numbers flu admissions, to be precise, are at their highest for 5 years, and that's obviously partly to do with COVID because there are more respiratory illnesses in circulation. But yeah, it's just a kind of continuation of this crisis of the NHS. It's a very bad time to be sick if you are.
It's difficult, isn't it, Tom? And we're seeing strikes, of course, across that and many other industries as well.
No, exactly. And I think that was one of the things that was quite striking, is that even when we had the ambulance strikes, even when there was obviously a lot of concern about the impact that might have on care and whatever, in terms of these wait times, in terms of people having to build, shelters around their loved ones who fell on the patio, waiting hours upon hours for an ambulance, that was happening even before this strike action. The build-up of all of these backlogs, the strain that the health service was under, the kind of creaking, pre-existed even any of the strike action, which is why I think some of the kind of public support has been surprisingly high for some of those.
Lots of slightly lighter stories in the papers today as we approach the new year. And Tom, you've picked out a paper on the inside of the Star. Is this the weirdest year on record? Discuss.
Well, certainly according to the Daily Star, talking about some of the more colourful moments this year, from Lettuce Liz, when Liz Truss was famously outlasted by a lettuce, which the Star famously put on a live stream, seeing which would last first, the lettuce outside the fridge or Liz Truss in number 10 Downing Street. We've also, of course, got the unlikely return of Matt Hancock, going from the kind of world's least likely Lothario to the world's least likely household favourite when he went on I'm a Celebrity and made something of a comeback. There was one story, Jane, which I will admit to missing at the time, which was in August. There was a beer-loving pony in Devon who was made the honorary mayor of his village and then was barred from his own pub, one that I'm sure many people were talking about up and down the country, but I will admit that I missed at the time, capping off a historic year in many ways, but also, as the Star is pointing out here, a quite amusingly weird one in Britain as well.
And Nikki, the weirdness continues in many people's eyes. If we look at this story inside the Mail about a massive scramble for these drinks, Prime in Aldi, people buying a drink that costs £1.99, but the retails on the internet at hundreds of pounds. I can't make out, that there's nothing special about the drink itself. It's just the marketing and the people behind it.
No, this isn't the first drink of its kind, is it? I'm from Wakefield, which, if you know, had that very famous store that was selling, I can't remember the drink was called, the Prime drink that everybody was going bananas about a few weeks ago. People were, queuing up for days to try and get hold of it there. It's a really interesting phenomenon. I think what's fascinating is the way it's kind of been driven by advertising to children as well, and to younger people. So they're putting pressure on their parents to, buy these drinks for them, and the parents are buckling.
Well, yeah, I have to say, I heard about it from my kids, not from the papers. Final story, Nikki, very briefly. Cost of living crisis, a toll that's taken on pets. So many animals in shelters at the moment looking for new homes.
Yeah, there really are. There's a really beautiful spread today. It's called the 12 Dogs of Christmas. And it's just kind of highlighting that there are all these pets that you can adopt if you've got room in your home and room in your heart for one. I'm trying not to look too closely at it because I've got a mini Dachshund at home and he's a bit territorial. Otherwise, I'd be straight on one of these.
Nikki and Tom, thanks so much for now. Lots more from them in the next hour. And lots more here on Sky News Breakfast. All the latest reaction to the deaths of both Pele and, of course, the fashion designer Vivienne Westwood as well. Stay with us after this break.